Hey folks, do you like beating the snot out of baddies? Are you rich, or do you like to pretend that you're rich in a game about spaceships? Do you want to be Space Batman? Then do I have the ship for you. The Origin 600i is a luxury exploration vessel that just happens to also be one of the best bounty hunting ships in the game. It's got twice as much shield as a Connie. It's more agile than the Connie. It has more pilot control DPS with better range than the Connie, and it even packs more missiles than every variant of the Connie except the Andromeda. And this ship is billed as a luxury ship. It's got a bar and a pool table and marble floors. So you have to ask yourself, what does a luxury cruiser need with that much firepower? Let's get into it. So we'll start off against an Anvil Valkyrie VHRT. This isn't the hardest ship that you're going to come against, but it's definitely no pushover, so you'll get to see how powerful the 600i is in this context. You are effectively invincible against this ship. You have so much shield HP, you really just need to aim and click. It's just a matter of time before they explode. We can see that two other ships have spawned in on our radar, and they're sending missiles at us, so they've poked the bear. Let's take them out as well. We get one in our sights. It's a Cutlass Black. It's going to be the same thing. You don't have to worry about its incoming DPS at all. Just get it into your sights and shoot. You've got 2,800 meter range with these size 5 cannons, so you outrange pretty much every enemy that you're going to come across in VHRTs. So you'll always get a head start on them for one-on-one fights. Next up, we've got this Freelancer MIS. It's not going to stand any chance. Once we get it in our sights, we get a couple of well-placed shots. Boom, it's done. That's it for this one. On to the next one. Since those last targets were a little bit too easy, this time let's up the ante a little bit with the hardest VHRT target that you'll encounter, which is the Hurricane. Since we're fighting a Hurricane, we can talk a little bit about the tactics that we'll want to use. We're going to fly decoupled, and we're going to keep our SCM limiter on so that we're always moving at least our SCM max maneuvering speed. This is so that when ships try to joust us or fly circles around us, it makes it a little bit harder for them because we're not stationary and they can't just rotate comfortably. They have to adjust speed in multiple directions as they try to do that. As you can see, with doing that, even though we pass the Hurricane first, we pop them as soon as we rotate around them. So a single Hurricane was still pretty easy, so now we're taking on 3 VHRT class ships simultaneously. We've got our Warden, which is the bounty target, as well as a Valkyrie and a Hurricane. I made a little bit of a mistake here. I came in a little bit too hot, but no big deal. I just rotate around. I keep flying decoupled, and now I'm flying away from them, and I'm able to take advantage of my superior range to keep taking shots at them from range. It's only going to be a matter of time before this Warden pops. There he goes. I take on the Valkyrie next because I figure it's going to be an easier target since it's a larger cross-section. Thanks to keeping up my maneuvering speed, I'm able to see that the Valkyrie is having trouble rotating around me, and so it's barely moving, and I take it out real fast. The only thing that's left now is the Hurricane. It's more agile, so it's able to get around me and it's starting to buzz around me. Since I've already got all my energy ammo starred up in my weapons, I put my capacitor to shields to recharge what I can, and I patiently wait for it to get a little bit closer to being in front of my sights. And as soon as it is, I lock it up and I start chasing after it. As he's slowing down here to change direction, I get a clean shot at him. Line him up, a couple shots, and he pops. So the hunt for the challenge continues. Here we're fighting an ERT target, so that means we're going up against a Hammerhead plus a couple VHRT level escorts. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take out the escort because it's a lot closer than the hammerhead, and I'll probably be able to just pop it before even getting into range of the hammerhead. I'm looking for my 2.8 kilometer range, and then as soon as he gets there, I'll start firing. It's a warden, so it should pop pretty quickly. There it goes. Now, it's just me and the hammerhead. I've done this a few times already successfully by getting in close to the hammerhead and just brawling it out with 50k of front shields and 3 size 5 cannons. You can usually come out ahead. This time I tried something a little bit different. I was going to see if I could actually kite it. The hammerhead's full of laser repeaters, so they've got 1.5 or 1.8k range, so if I can get a little bit further than that, between that and my 2.8k, I should be able to shoot at it while it can't shoot at me. So far it's going kind of okay. You can see that I got into range of him for a second. He was shooting, but now he stopped. The mistake I make right here is he's closing the gap again, and I'm still pulling back, but I hit my SCM limiter speed. I should have raised my speed limiter here to keep kiting him, but we're going to essentially start getting into a brawl range now. And I've run out of energy ammo when he starts unloading on me. I use some of my boost to start trying to rotate around him while keeping my cap to max weapons to try and regen and take him out as fast as possible. You can see that my shields are holding. I'm at 19% front shield, which is pretty decent still, so I'm feeling okay because he's got a large chunk of his hull in the red already. This is where things go a little bit sideways. I feel when I'm fighting this that I'm ahead because more than half of his ship hull is in the red and my shields are still holding. But as soon as we get into range and start brawling it out, he's got so much more incoming DPS than me because I've gotten into a position such that too many of his laser repeaters turrets are able to fire at me. So he takes down a lot of my front shields and I'm still just pinging away at some of his remaining shields and not actually doing critical damage yet. In retrospect, it would have probably been smarter if I just got in close and brawled him out to begin with, but my half kiting, half brawling has kind of given him a little bit of an edge. I still think I might be able to beat him in a turning fight by rotating around him, so I use some more of my boost to try and either pull a little bit of distance or rotate around him a little bit, hoping that enough of his hull has taken damage that the next shot or two will actually take him out, but no luck. At the medium to top end of my range, a lot of the shots have not actually landed, so while I'm used to having done way more damage to him at this point, here I've probably done a lot less than if I had just brawled him out from the beginning. So eventually I give up and I say, alright, I'm gonna go in, let's slug it out. I take a little bit more damage, I'm starting to take some hull damage, but at least I know that all of my shots are going to be landing now, and he was already in the red to start, so he should go down. There he goes. It was pretty messy, but we won. So, we haven't really customized the ship at all because you don't really need to. If you can see on the fit here, the only thing we really changed is the warp drive to the XL1 so that you can zip around the verse fast. You've got excellent weapons stock. You don't gain anything by swapping the shields, power plant, or the coolers. I know not customizing your ship isn't very Batman-esque, but the times have changed in 2951. I was talking earlier about how great the 600i is at bounties, and I think you get the idea, but it's not totally OP like I was suggesting. It's a little more than twice the size of the Connie, so you're a bigger target, and you have a lot less hull HP, so once your shield is down, you're pretty fragile. And the 600i is expensive, coming in at 9.5 million Alpha UEC. For all those would-be mercenaries and working-class bounty hunters out there, I'd say get one of the Constellation series ships. But if you're the kind of pilot that's rubbing shoulders with the future Bruce Wayne, give it a shot. Thanks for watching, folks. Cheers.